Women are worse because one gender has consequences, one doesn't.
I think it's okay that men cheat on their wives with you.
100%. Because women are lazy.
They're just warning you of what female nature is.
I wish so badly sometimes that I had the logical thinking of a man. I'm a woman, so I don't come with that gene that tells you reason and logic.
Everyone calling me a pick-me. I'd rather be a pick-me than a skip-me.
Elizabeth Bennet is one of those young ladies who seek to recommend themselves to the other sex by undervaluing their own. And with many men, I dare say, it succeeds. But in my opinion, it is a paltry device, a very mean art that was written over 200 years ago. And yet, social media and TikTok especially is full of them. You know the type, the one that insists that she's not like other girls, who trashes other women, who blames wives for their husbands cheating, and who seems to live for male applause. She might be in a prairie dress in TikTok, or running a podcast from her bedroom. She's the pick-me, and she's not as new as she looks. I've heard many times that a pick-me is an insult. It's just an insult hurled by lonely feminists at women who respect men, who care about men, who want to marry one. And while that might be true for some women, meaning some that will call just anyone who doesn't hate men a pygmy, I do think that the pygmy insult, just like the simp insult, has some merit. They're the women who will devalue themselves to get a man, as Jane Austen puts it, undervalue other women to win the favor of men. And oftentimes it works. A pygmy doesn't always bash other women on TikTok or YouTube or blame their wives for their husbands cheating. Sometimes she's a woman who will abandon her values, ignore red flags, and let a man walk all over her just to not be alone. It's not always aggressive. Sometimes it's passive, but it's still about being chosen at all costs. These are the different flavors of pygmy. The woman basher pygmy, some more extreme than others, Pearl, and the quiet pygmy, the self-sacrificing pygmy. So let's discuss the first. And let's discuss the public version of these women who are giving us plenty of examples to draw from. I will say, and this is editing me, as you will see in the video, Pearl Davis does get mentioned. She has to, I know, but she kind of exemplifies pygmy behavior in all of its glory. Pearl, though she is most recently clearly the woman basher pygmy, she's also the self-sacrificing pygmy. I believe she has landed where she is because of low self-esteem. In fact, she says so herself.
Girls still ask me, like, how can you listen to this man? And I have one answer for you. Low self-esteem. Oh God, like, guys, don't try to sleep with me. like, I swear to God, I've been on a date and I would have been dead, and you just never tried. I was like, oh, okay. I've been on a date, so guy didn't even touch me once.
Yeah.
He didn't touch me once, and I'm like, yeah. I don't really have guys approach me often.
She comes from a place of self-loathing. And I believe she has turned that self-loathing into something active, a way she can feel empowered and make money.
Do you accept if he's just stepping up but not getting anyone pregnant?
Are we married?
No, you're in a relationship.
I think if I'm being truly honest with myself, for the right guy, I probably would.
How many times?
I don't know how many times. But I decided to go to therapy is because in the next 5 to 7 years, ideally, some things are out of your control, but ideally I'd like to be married.
Now, with that, let's get into the video.
It's different for men and for women cheating?
No.
I actually think that women like to be cheated on. If a woman cheats, she's trying to leave you. If a man cheats,
Yes.
he's just it's like a handshake.
Yeah.
This is the most unforgivable thing, that he is the ultimate bad guy, the ultimate demon if he does this. I'm sorry, sometimes you contributed to it. And women take no accountability for that. And that he wants to go to the bar with his buddies because you make that shit a hellhole. Because you are so unpleasant to be around. And that man forgives you for all of that shit, but you can't forgive him for stepping out once, twice. You guys are crazy.
Notice that women are never taught how to treat a man properly. Women are only taught what to expect for men.
So some examples of modern pygmy performers. Pearl Davis, classic example from Just Pearly Things. Pearl has built a whole brand by blaming women for everything wrong in dating. Men cheat, it's women's fault. Men leave their families, also women. Men get fat, you guessed it, women. A stay-at-home mom, no different than a sex worker, according to Pearl. She holds women to impossible standards, which she doesn't seem to hold herself to. She blames women for immoral male behavior. She parrots manosphere talking points to gain status in male-dominated spaces. Some men have called her out on it, but regardless of that, her strategy works. This is how she makes a living. Then there are the tradwife influencers on TikTok, like Tradwife Tori. These are not just women who stay at home, which is fine, but women who use their lifestyle to shame others. You know, saying things like you wouldn't need therapy if you just made your husband a sandwich. These are the women who make PG-13 level corn, if you know what I mean. They play a character for men. If you notice, most of her followers are men, and yet she's married, and a lot of them are seemingly married themselves. If you think about it, it's really almost like a fetish. Just read the comments. And then of course, everyone knows these types of girls. The cool girls. They were here before social media. The girl who eats burgers, watches football, and that she's just not like other girls. All of it is a performance for male approval, and it is a shame. Some men fall for it. Oftentimes the men who have so little going on in their lives that they are desperate to be told they are superior, even if they themselves have achieved nothing. Then there are the women who may not put others down, but who will absolutely sell out their own values if it means they get to keep a man. She won't speak up when he crosses a line. She'll defend cheating as it's just male instinct. She might even abandon her career, her beliefs, her goals. Not because she wants to, genuinely wants to, but because she believes it makes her more wifeable. More examples of this, okay? If you're not getting what I'm saying. The woman who says she doesn't want casual, you know what, but agrees to a situationship for months, hoping it turns into something. And the woman who wants marriage and children, but pretends she's cool with whatever because she doesn't want to scare him off. Then there's the one who stops bringing up emotional needs because, you know, he might think I'm too much. And then there's the woman who stays silent on things that make her uncomfortable because I don't want to push him away. This is very common as well. In fact, I would say to different degrees, most of us have been this type of pick-me at some point. It's like the pick-me girl becomes a chameleon. She'll shrink, twist, or vanish altogether if it means keeping a man interested. But you can't contort yourself into being loved. You'll just end up resentful and unrecognizable to yourself, to him, and to yourself. We can see her in mythology as well. Echo, to be specific, in Greek mythology, symbolically, Echo becomes a woman who can only say what a man has already said. She loses her individuality. She also falls for someone who doesn't deserve her, narcissist, who is hopelessly self-absorbed, emotionally unavailable, and cruel. But she still desperately tries to be close to him, and she helps Zeus cheat on Hera. And when it comes to archetypes, she fits the shapeshifter archetypes, or the lover who loses herself completely in the pursuit of connection. So let's talk about why this happens, why we have so many pick-me's within our midst, and why they are so prevalent on social media. So, psychological roots, why does this happen? The pick-me's believe that proximity to male approval is safety. This is a theory that by expressing these beliefs, they will place them in a higher hierarchy than other women. And then they also have a scarcity mindset. Cultural messaging says that there's a limited supply of marriageable men, of marriageable or good men. So other women become competition, not community.
You should let their men cheat because they're doing it anyway. Most women just are in denial that it's happening because they want to live in a little la-la land. The second reason is that there's more women than men. So women are all trying to be with the same man. So if you have a man that is, at least he's loyal to you in the sense that like he's with you, he's providing for you, he's taking care of you, he's giving you that good husband type energy, then if he cheats, you're gonna have to just get over it.
There might be an evolutionary reason as well. In ancestral times, being chosen by men meant survival. The modern version going viral for shaming modern women. So why does the pick me act work? First of all, men often reward this behavior. It reinforces a form of their ego. Just look at the comments on any of the crazy Pearl takes. It is a bunch of bitter men. Pick me girls get praise, clout, and even money. I mean, Pearl is a business. Some of the things Pearl says, for example, which are absolutely absurd, you gotta think she's gone absolutely crazy. Or she wants a payout, or both. Comparing stay-at-home moms to sex workers as an example, she says these things regardless. And the comments on her post confirm many men bitter with their own station in life want to agree. That no matter what a woman does, she is less moral and less virtuous than a man. So, pygmy behavior doesn't just hurt the individual woman. It poisons the well for both men and women. When good men see women behaving in treacherous ways to each other, it pushes them away. And by the way, I talk about this a lot on this channel, about the dynamics and about women's stories in a way that isn't trying to fall in either category of the current cultural or countercultural messaging, which is anti-men or anti-woman. So the messaging of the pygmy girl divides women, makes us suspicious of each other, and it also delays collective progress. The more we fight each other, the less we challenge systems. And I spoke about this in my latest video, The Feminine Story Without the War on Men, and I theorized why there can be a war between the sexes. So, to close this up, sisterhood isn't just a cute word, okay? It is a survival strategy. We're allowed to be different, make different choices without turning each other into enemies. And here's the thing. Real empowerment isn't about being a trad wife or a girl boss. It's about making choices that align with you, with your values, and that can include marriage. In fact, marriage is good. Marriage, children, homemaking, or sometimes none of the above. Throughout history, there's always been women that do not fit those molds. Society now kind of encourages the opposite, but that's a conversation for a different day. It should never come from fear, but taking on a role should never come from fear. It shouldn't come from insecurity. It shouldn't come from the need to be chosen above all costs, above yourself. As Jane Austen shows us in one of my favorite books, Pride and Prejudice, the heroine isn't the woman who flatters the man. It's the woman who respects herself. Elizabeth Bennet didn't contort herself to fit into a man's mold. Even though the original quote in the beginning of this video was about her, it was being said by the actual pygmy woman in the story. She was projecting a little bit. Elizabeth Bennet said no to a proposal that would have made her life secure because it would have made her life also miserable. And she only said yes when it came from someone she really appreciated, when it came with real respect from the man who she truly wanted and valued. So, if you've found yourself with pygmy patterns, whether it's putting other women down or shrinking yourself to fit some guy's checklist, you're not a bad person. I mean, well, maybe Pearl is. It'll take a lot for her to be redeemed, but you're responding to a system that taught you that's how you win. But the truth is, you don't need to be picked. You get to choose. And that, my dear friends, is where the real power lies. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and comment. If you disagreed with me, I encourage healthy and interesting conversation down below in the comment section. So please go ahead and do that, and I'll see you next time.
Everyone calling me a pick-me. I'd rather be a pick-me than a skip-me. So yeah, if you want to call me a pick-me, call me a pick-me. Bye.